What a amazing show of support before we even get started here. 25 people here already. Holy smokes. Please make sure to hit that like button if you're tuning in now or after the live. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you, as it really does help push me through the analytics. Please hit that like button. I'll go through, I'll say hi to the ones I can. I do appreciate each and every one of you, but let me timestamp this very quickly just so everybody knows if they're tuning in or if they're watching this after, because you're just as important whether you're tuning in now or after the live. It's equally important that you hit that like button and share this. So good evening, 6:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, November 6th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So we're 28 minutes until the daily close. We're looking beautiful right now. We've jumped up levels, and we'll talk very in-depth about this. Very, very in-depth. I encourage you, when it's times like this, if you're looking to show your support, these are the good nights to show it. I had a lot of questions, so if you're interested in paying it forward and you're not looking to use YouTube, in my pin, that's just Cash App. That's all that is. If you're in the USA, you can use that, but you don't need to donate to watch my program. You don't need to do that. Just please hit that like button and share this. Jacob, welcome in. I rarely make it in time for your live streams. This time I get my choice of seats. Fantastic. Matt, Rob, Jacob, Michael, Harvey, welcome in. Mo, the Gatman, good evening. I love edit. John Hall, true good evening, my friends. Marvin, Griselli, JW, good evening. Just coming off his birthday, fresh on Friday. So good evening to you, my friend. CJ2 Pilot and Matt Holden, good evening, and thank you for that, saying looking good. I appreciate that. Well, not me, but XRP's looking good, so we all appreciate it. James Montgomery, welcome in. I'm going to put my phone away because now I caught up. Big CJ, welcome. Free Toast, always good to see you in the house. We've got Rockin' XRP Painter. Tanya, welcome in, love. Wow, we've got a jumping house tonight already. What a beautiful night. What a beautiful day to be an XRP trader, but not just XRP. Tanya's here. So as we're building into XRP, Tanya, remember what we talked about with the H-bar? Remember my projection? The projection is one of two ways it was going to take. We're almost up to that first target. Now are we going to take the short route or the high route? That's what we need to look at for H-bar. So Tanya, we're looking at that 5.7 level. And now you can see we're back on top of it. So let's look for that up route possibly to take up, assuming that we can hold that 5.75 support now going on through. XLM hit the top side. We have a technical target. As we know, we've tailor-made this move for the way up, and I even cloned it for everybody in case it went down. But we're targeting the way up with the current market, and the technical breakout would be 15,338. So is that aligned up with that inverted hammer candle on XLM? Is that aligned with the move for XRP at 85 cents? Only time will tell, but it's starting to look like we've got a move building up here, ladies and gentlemen. This inverted hammer candle is beautiful for XLM. And as you know, we've been buying XLM when it was cheap. We're talking, 8 cents, 7, 8 area with XLM. So we've done a fantastic job in the community. I say we because we did a very consistent job throughout the years now, doing what we needed to do. So then we've got XDC, and yes, you might notice I'm going random in XRP. I'm letting everybody get in who wants to get in, and then we're going to get into XRP. I figured this is the best way to do it. We hit the other ones real quick, touch Bitcoin, and then we focus on XRP very, very, very deeply. Make sure to hit that like button. The more likes we get, the more people can talk about XRP when we get to it. I'm going to do this from now on. It's about 5 minutes I might take to go through all of these. Again, XDC inverted hammer candle, I believe that we should all have XRP, XLM, XDC equal parts, not by money spent, but by tokens owned. Sam, thank you so much for the $19.99 donation. First donation of the night, and that is very generous of you. And if we were going to retest, this would be the breakdown retest, but we took the up route out of that bull flag, which is beautiful, which it could have been a bear flag, but we're trying to invalidate that high wick, and a lot of times XDC does that, like I've talked. So retest we haven't done. We didn't need to come down because it pulled up further. I don't believe we came out. No, we just had squeeze candles. So now we're pushing up now. Can we come up to that 575 and push out? We've already broke out of this falling channel. These are very bullish, but the problem is is how far up it came. It already came to 674. So now it looks like we should be trending there. Are we going to go higher though? If this is ready to finally break out, we should be contending with 8-1 and 9-2, either late this year or early next year. Deep massage those charts. Oh yeah, thank you so much for that, JW. Tom is, I gotta wait for another comment, and then DGB, because that's part of the fellowship here. We already knew that this was holding. We talked about the hold to confirm it held. We circled it, it held, and now it bounced out. Now we're at 747. If we can hold the 200-day up here, that's what we're looking for. A break out of here as we would complete the golden cross eventually here in the next few days. This could be a massive reverse rally up to about 0.00989, and that is not a joke. It is overextended. DGB is overextended. It needs a run. It's down 99+%. So just watch that. And I know we're all excited for XRP. 109 people here already. Holy smokes. Please hit that like button. You are the key to how far this gets pushed through. We're about to get to XRP here too. I just wanted to hit Bitcoin. I like to get, the more I think about it, I want to get through all the other ones first, because I like to focus on XRP. And as you know, I never go to anything else once I start talking XRP. And we have a very active discussion. Bitcoin, as long as we don't lose 34,000, we did put in what looked like a bearish hammer candle here. That's why we couldn't get any momentum here. That's what I was trying to point to. All this was on Friday. We talked about this because it was JW's birthday, and I did a silent segment for anybody who was here, but I keep it up just for memories. But as long as we hold 34, which we did on the pull down, we can pull up, and the technical break up would be 37,863 on a breakout of what we're trying to confirm of the broadening wedge. We diagnosed this very early. We had a technical breakdown target of 25,194 off the wedge, the broadening wedge, hit it perfectly, rotated back up, and we've had it diagnosed the whole way. We knew if it broke down, it could come to around 21,800, but it never took the further down route. Now, for me, I'm too excited. I got to go into XRP. Right now, it's 6:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're 21 minutes until the daily close. And real quick, did that make sense to everybody? Did that make sense? Like Casper's up 5.82% on the day. I cover XRP, but every single one I'm showing you, we're invested in as a community, and we got it much cheaper than it's at now. We bought this in the descending triangle, and once it broke out, we said we weren't interested. We already bought our 10,000 tokens in this rotation, and now look where it's at. I talked about once it broke that, it was urgent to buy it down here because what? The next big move would be 397. I don't sugarcoat it in this community. We know what is going on here. We know what's going on. And I even show the downward retest route if it's going to take that. It's taking the up route. Inverted hammer candle again in the daily. And now we're pushing out and up. This is a beautiful setup. And if you're new, we have all of this as a community. We've just bought it at rotational spots. We bought this as a community at like 80085. And I told everybody it's beautiful. It's the best time. And now we're going to retest this area up here. Now we're coming up there. And now once we come through, it was a 62% chance to break up to that area. We've broken up there. But when I said 62%, it was down here when I was trying to make this rotation. We've got ZIL. And mind you, we're not going to anything else once we get an XRP. I'm just trying to kill time leading into the close. Might shuffle a few people out. And then we'll get the ones who want to be here. But these are all very important ones. Every ones I show are Internet of Things, ISO tokens that are HTML, or that are adaptable to the new framework for the ISO 20022 when it's the new protocol gets rolled in officially. And then it's also the Internet of Things that control the smart cities, the smart house. But I won't go down that path in fear of being banned. But I'll give you the tokens that control them. So now with ZIL, this is one of the top meme ones in this new gaming sphere / virtual world we're going into. And they're very, very ahead of the times. Another inverted hammer is forming. It's in the breakout spot. I've talked about over and over and over about how VeChain was ahead. And for anybody who's watching, VeChain broke out of this rotation, now came up. VeChain is looking to get on top of 220 to confirm a bigger breakout. And that could rotate this all the way up. See the inverted head and shoulders in there as well. We pointed it out in the earlier part of the pattern, and it just ended up consolidating out now and now up. ZIL is doing the exact same thing. Notice it's about to break out of the first level rotation, and then if it holds, it's going to come up here just like VeChain just did. It's going to be a little more of an explosive move than VeChain because there's a bigger gap. So just watch all of that. I show all of this for a reason. Everything I'm showing you is in my portfolio, and I've traded with everybody on Winning Wednesdays or FOMO Fridays over the last late 22 and then times in 23 when we could. We have the exact setup to take advantage of this, including gold and silver for precious metals. H-bar is absolutely brewing. Oh, the only one I forgot is Algo. We also have Algo. 7,800 tokens we're able to buy in FOMO Fridays. And the only reason we stopped is what? Because I said when it broke this rotation, I was done. Even if I didn't get to 10,000, and we knew it was going to come up here to retest. We telegraphed this. Once it breaks this, it has to come to the 200-day and the daily. And if it breaks that, I've talked about for a long time how there's going to be a 300-400% move on Algo when it finally breaks out of this rotation. It very well could make its way back up to 26 cents. We don't know. It could double this right now. So we bought it at a perfect time of the rotation. IOTA I would have, but in the USA it makes it very difficult, but it's starting to break out of this rotation with no signs in sight in my great state of Michigan to buy it outside of USDT, which is a pain in the ass. So I might just do that though in the future. We'll see what happens. But now to XRP. We have 133 people in here already. Oh my goodness. Please make sure to hit that like button. 133 people, 81 likes. It's great. But if you're coming in here and you see, and it's your first time in this great community, and you see 83 likes and there's 133 people in here, you'd be like, why did 50 people not hit the like button? Let's not give the optical illusion that this isn't something important. I don't charge anything for this content. So we need to sit around together. We need to influence some to come in here who might be charged somewhere else. You can get the best information for free. That's usually the way it works. You find somebody who's passionate about what they do. So XRP, the most important thing here is we're trying to close a run above 71 cents. These are my own determined levels, as we know. I formed this entire pattern. These are the levels that I deemed most important coming through. And what happened? 55 and 57, like we have on the other chart, were the first two pivot points. And the reason why this chart's important is we had the bear flag on here that everybody talked about, why it was going to go down. And I said, don't be so sure about this. It's a bull flag in disguise within a bear flag. And I'll show you what I mean. We came through 55, 57. Now we've come up to 71. The importance of 71 and why I'm showing this chart, and then we'll get off this chart to show you the other one, is that this pattern's been brewing since 2017. This started all the way up here in 2017 December area, because it started down here first coming through. But the resistance was first December of 2017 roughly. We rejected at $1 or the all-time highs. December, January of 18, it was around $3.40, whatever the hell cents it is, depending on exchange. Then we came through. It took several years, 4 years, and this was my whole point back then. $1.98 got rejected. That confirmed this rotation, that this pattern, the downtrending resistance is catastrophic if it doesn't break it. Then it came all the way back down and rotated through, and this 2020 uptrend now is holding. So right now we have a rotation where the 2020 uptrend's holding, and the downtrending resistance from 2017 is in place, so we're converging. So now it's so important. If we can hold 71 cents, our next major line, and that's why it was so important to buy the 2020 uptrend. As close as you could get there, because we sold out as a community at $1.66 and 21. I know I took a lot of heat for it. Believe me, we were out of it for almost a year and a half. But I told everybody, sub 40 cents, we'll target it and we'll buy back. You know, that's just the way it goes. Sometimes you have to be a sightseer instead of somebody following the group, if you know what I mean. We had foresight, which meant we were able to put ourselves in. You know how many people are telling me right now that it's impossible to be up? It's like, nobody should be down if you're following the philosophy we are. You shouldn't be down. We have a 34.6 average on XRP, and I got made fun of it the whole time until it started panning out. But let's get past that. The reason why this is so important is if we break past 71 cents, that's our last major resistance back up to 85, and that's the pattern formation. If you want to have a parabolic spike, you've got to break out of this pattern formation that's been brewing for almost 7 years. There's no way around it. There is no way. You can say whatever you want. January of 24, this will be a 7-year, but there's no way around it. We've got to break that downtrending resistance that was started 7 years ago in January, approximately. Let's just put it that way. No, not 7 years ago. We'll say 6 solid years ago in January. How about that? So that's what we're looking at. So now it's not a bear flag. And remember, we have the daily time frame. We've invalidated the death cross. And what we needed to do to to validate the invalidation. As you can see, we needed to get above the rising channel resistance. That pattern started in June of 22. And we've been very transparent. And I believe we were in a bull flag the whole time on this breakdown. It was just a great way to trap people, make them think they should be going short. And then they gave the lagging indicator, as I said, with the daily time frame being a death cross, while the golden cross was still fully intact in the weekly. And I pointed it out every step of the way, and I said, don't get caught. I said, when they're telling you to sell, when they're telling you not to buy, and everybody's speaking of how bearish it is, this is the right time in history to buy, and we were all over it. So, JW says, historical data check, the Wayback Machine. Absolutely. And when you understand the formations, nobody can trick us. Like, there's nothing anybody can say to us that tells us this isn't a bull flag. We were just ahead of it. Now it's invalidated the death cross, and now we confirm the invalidation by getting on top of the rising channel. That broke a more than year-and-a-half trend that started in June of 2022. And how do we know that? We can just fact check it. June of 22, and I know this by heart because I've been doing this for 3 years without a day off for my YouTube audience. Very small at the time with 1,000 subscribers. Now not as small. We're approaching 19,000. I want to thank the 33 new subscribers yesterday as we pushed over 18,700 I see when we woke up. So we're getting closer to 19,000. It's incredible. It's incredible. So I thank all of you. David says, bro, if it wasn't for you, I'd still be in the red. So thank you. Used your info to get in the green. Hey, that's what I like to hear. See, that's why I do this. I always tell everybody, some of the biggest criticism I get, you're not a millionaire. No, not yet. But you guys have watched me every step of the way build this empire up. And I've always told you the only difference between me and somebody who's already there is I'm showing you the steps to get there. It's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight, but you've seen me pay off my house this year. It's not a overly overt house. My house is a $230,000 house. I took out a 30-year mortgage last year, but it was in the financial interest for me and Julie to just take some of our liquid and just get rid of some of our investments and just do what we needed to do. So that's a nice asset. I've showed you how to build gold and silver. We've got a lot of gold and silver. We had 12,000 in profits in 21 that I turned into precious metal holdings for everybody in my audience. I've been doing it since 2017, but become my own central bank. And look at, what have we been preaching? The banks are going to start going in basically foreclosure, going delinquent. And what's happening? When you hear the word receivership, it's over. Citizens Bank in Iowa, receivership. That means if you have Citizens Bank anywhere in the country, get out now. But I'm going to stop talking about that because that's what JW would say. We're getting into risky territory and I don't want to suffer a suspension. I've been a good boy. G-Rock, thank you so much for the $4.99. Seriously. Thanks for all your hard work, he says. No, thank you for putting in the time to not only watch, but to spend your hard-earned money. It's no easy task, especially in this time. Codizer, good evening. You're welcome, my friend. Brian Merkel, we're 10 minutes to the close, and you are here. I appreciate that. I love seeing everybody in here. You have no idea. When we only have 50 people in here, and I only say only, but when there's 50, I say we have so many people in here. In today's retrospect, it's an only. But when it's the bearish cycle, you find the truest of people, too. Right now, there's 174 of you. I would love, or 166, I would love to see you here when it's more bearish. Because that's when we start to find our buys. My favorite time is when it was in the bear cycle. And for the question, yes, this is still a bear market rally until we get up to $1.13. This is in the hot pink, and I did that for a reason. It draws your attention to that spot. Well, why is it different on Tom's chart? That's where it needs to break out, in my opinion, after getting up to $1.98. When it broke down all the way to about 287 approximately for the swing low in 22. That's where I determined we need to get above that to have better than a 50% pullback, which means we need to get above that 50% mark from $1.98. So $1.98, you figure the 50% down would be 94 cents. I need a clean percentage up, and that's the perfect line at $1.13, that if you're building momentum, you should breach that and then push the new line of $1.30, or $1.38, I should say. If you hit $1.13, this is the gray area. $1.13 to $1.38, and that's where I want to be. I want to be in the gray area. If you break the gray area, you know what? Fuck it. If you get past the gray area, and forget this hot pink, forget that. We're going to go to the gray area. And I love this. Watch this. If we can get past the gray area, and that's 4. What is that? 4. Let me go back in here real quick. And it's so important. If we can get past the gray area, these areas right here, between $1.38 and $1.13, that is how you break back into a new bull market. Anywhere between there, you're within a bear market rally of the ultimate kind right here. You break this, you're back into the bull market territory. Now, I say that because I want everybody to realize a hold at 71 cents, we'll just say, that still leaves you 58% from $1.13, and another 94% we would still have to go to reverse this back into a bull market. That's just my opinion. Some could say I'm full of shit, but I'm trying to get back to all-time highs, okay? And to me, I'm tired of being in the consolidation bullshit zone. Especially if you've been in this since 2017 and you don't want to buy, sell, buy, sell. This is the bullshit zone. Until we get past the bullshit zone, we can't get to real profits. Yes, it's great. We bought at $1 or 36.4 cents or 34.6 cents. We're doing great this year. It's great that we bought at 47 cents and got to sell at $1.66 in 2021. But I want to get through this area. Tanya, you did say by end of year. I'm not saying this is happening by end of year. I'm just saying we need to get through this area. But Tanya, you've been on the money. That's why you're one of the most dedicated, but also one of the most important ones in the audience. And you make me look good because you are not a male and you're a female and you show your intelligence each and every day and you show what you've learned as well. It makes me look good. As well as yourself. I'm not saying I'm riding on your gravy train, but you know, you really do make me look good in here too. So I humbly appreciate that, Tanya. I'm very proud of the fact that with an 18,700 plus following base, the typical YouTube following for my category with the female audience is roughly 2.8%. Anywhere between 2.8 and 3.6 is the average, depending on where you look on YouTube for this category. We have an astounding 10.8%. 10.8% out of 18,700 is female in my audience. That means there's 1,800 plus women, despite the stereotype, that are taking this financial and grasping the straws here. They're grasping them and turning into something. This is how you find a needle in a haystack, folks. You find this kind of information, not just from me, the audience. You need somebody who lives it, breathes it, feels it, understands it, wants to be here. Not somebody who's just here because I'm promoting some... No, I'm not even going to get into it. Nothing grinds my gears more than when I try to watch somebody that I want to get some information and they hit me with the ExpressVPN, do this, do that, do this, do that. And I got to sit through 77,000 commercials to get 17 seconds of information. The ones like Peter Schiff, Jordan Peterson, Mike Maloney, Robbie, they've all earned it. Me and some of these others on YouTube that don't have anything of value except what we know, and we have never done it, and YouTube's our first platform, we don't deserve it. I deserve all of you, and you deserve me. See, that's the beauty of it. You pay it forward. I pay it forward each and every day by being here. 190 people in here hearing the message. Please hit that subscribe button. We had 18,703 subscribers when I started this live. I would love to see a nice pickup of subscribers. Would love it. I don't think we can even push 20,000 to end the year, but I think we could get 19,000. Al says, I learned to trade the bear market, and I'm still here. Talk about it. Baptism of fire. I keep coming to you, Tom. You have something infectious that I can't put my finger on. Hi from Scotland. Hey, Al, I really appreciate that. Tanya, thank you so much. Hey, it's not just me, Tanya. You're a big part of this. The audience is a big part of this. So I'm trying to kill time to the daily close, as we all know I always do. We got 4 minutes until the daily close. Isn't it beautiful that now the clock's flipped back an hour? I can be on at 6:30 to whatever instead of waiting until 7. I hated doing that. I like it when the close is at 7. But we got 4 minutes. Our main goal right now, and I'll lower it, we're looking to close above 61. Look at all these beautiful candles right now. Yes, the 2 hour could potentially pull bearish a little bit. We don't want to see that. But in the daily, if we focus, does anybody know what kind of candle this is? And it's one of my favorites. And you've been hearing a whole lot about this lately. Ami, Tom, you are the best, honestly. I appreciate that. You know what the best part is I don't compare myself with anybody because I know I'm unique. So I just try to be my own authentic self, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, Jacob, give yourself credit, Tom. I do give myself credit, but my credit is seen through the results in my audience and seeing how much everybody loves learning. You know, it's so rare that an audience wants more and more and more. Yes! Brian, Matt, Harvey, the inverted hammer candle. Yes! Michael says it's the energy. You know, I believe it's my duty to bring good positive energy. I wasn't like that in 21 or 22 all the time. 23, it's been my my biggest commitment was to bring the positivity over negativity. Yes, this inverted hammer candle is beautiful. Ami says I'm female too, and it's good to see women doing this. Yes, it sure is. Thank you, love, so much. It sure is. See, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, we have such a wide array of this audience. It works for me. See, my mom and dad got divorced when I was 8. And I've always, like, taken care of my brother and sister. My dad always yada, yada, yada. So, but my mom, you know, being the single mom and she defied the odds for a long time until she went down a path she shouldn't have. She's still around, so now I help her out a lot. You know, I send her a lot of stuff through Cash App just because in the USA it's easy for me to send money to her just like that instead of going through a bank account or anything. But, you know, that's what you're supposed to do for your parents. You know, but, you know, I came from a very weird, my mom worked all these years and then got into cocaine and all this when we were in our 20s and late teens. You know, I had to resuscitate my mom. She was dead. Heroin overdose. I had to 13, I don't know if I've ever told this story. In 13 minutes, I was giving her mouth to mouth and doing the CPR until they got there and gave her the fucking shot. And she had no brain damage because I kept the oxygen flowing. You know, but I was versed in that because I was a personal trainer and they taught you all that good stuff. But, you know, I start from humble beginnings. I always say that. What you see in front of you is not necessarily because of the way I was raised. You know, I was raised good, but I was put into weird environments that I didn't condone, and I don't condone it still. So, again, XRP with these inverted hammer candles, it's a beautiful thing. Even in the 4 hourly, we're showing these. These are bullish candles. For anybody who doesn't know, the inverted hammer candle. Hey, and if some of you know, if you just follow every single day, you know. I wasn't sure about you at the beginning, but let me tell you, you know your stuff. That's why I'm here. Nobody was sure about me, believe me. How did church come up? Hey, don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But no, nobody was sure about me in the beginning. Let me tell you. You know why? Because I told everybody what they didn't want to hear, and I said you have to sell your XRP at $1.66. I know I've been pushing it. But I'm sorry, I just can't ignore the charts, and I don't care what everybody says about it going to 10 digits tomorrow. And you know what? We were right. And I took the heat for all of us so that we could be in the position we are today, and I'm proud of it. It's my most proudest achievement is going against the grain and standing up for what I knew was right, despite the backlash and the loss of half my audience that I received. Now I've times my audience by 18 times since it cut in half. So sometimes you lose the good people, or the ones who don't want to be here, but you gain so many more. Like Tanya told me last month again, I had a day where we lost 27 people in one day, and it was the biggest loss I ever had. She sent me a message on Telegram, and you know what, Tanya, you were right, because 2 days later, oh my God, a spider! Oh my God, it was on my, never mind. Holy shit. You guys, I'm not even kidding. Holy crap. I thought that they were doing something for Halloween on Google, and there was a spider crawling across my screen on the Google Lens, and it was actually on my screen, and I wiped across it to say, oh, look, a spider, and it was a real fucking spider, and I love spiders. Holy moly. Oh, man. That caught me off guard. Tom, so you teach TA class, I want to learn how to trade. The only time I do this is for free. The only way that you're really getting a class is you watch me day after day, and trust me, it doesn't sound like it, but you can ask all the people. Wow, that was crazy. That was a big spider too. That's why I didn't think it was real. I didn't think there was any chance that was real. It's huge. Wow, I don't know where it went. I'm kind of like, where did you go, buddy? I hope I didn't kill it on accident. No, I don't think I did. But anyhow, I do this every day, and I try to teach everybody for free. So you'll learn just as much as you're going to learn from somebody if you're paying them as you're going to learn here. All you have to do is watch daily. And these are the inverted hammer candles. And sometimes they're spread up higher. Sometimes they're a higher up candle. But these are the inverted hammer. This one's a little higher up. You want it to be green, though. You don't want it to be a bearish hammer or inverted hammer. So, and then you have the hanging man one. You have the hanging man. I think this is an inverted hammer. So, Julie, there was a spider crawling across the screen.
Oh, really?
And I thought it was from Halloween. And I'm like, oh, look, a spider's crawling across my screen. I went like this, and it was actually on my screen. It caught me off.
What kind of spider?
It was a big one. Wow, there's 212 people in here and 155 likes. Very generous of everybody. Thank you all so much. So the daily, we closed, ladies and gentlemen. I would have liked us to close a little bit higher, but we did close above 71 cents. That's what we wanted. So now we've taken down 71. Now, in order to be bullish here, what you want to see, yes, we took down 71. That's step one of two. Now, within this daily candle, you're going to want to see a breach over 7327. That would confirm the breakout. That would confirm the validation of 71 cents. That's what you want to do on this candle. Unless we well, I forgot to put this back from gray to red. So unless you want to retrace back down and maybe converge down here, or maybe come down and retest the daily or 4 hourly, you're going to want to go up there and break in the next daily candle. We would love, like yesterday, we broke 63.3 and immediately we had to break 663. That was the top here, and we immediately pushed through it right after. We just pushed through it right after. We pulled down, and while we were on, it just happened to do it while we were on air last night. Miss Vicky, hey all, I just checked, and there you all are. Miss Vicky, love, welcome, and yes, it's been an incredible live so far in the first half hour. A lot of information, a lot of people sharing some good stuff. But Miss Vicky, it's like you were saying before. When it's a little bearish in nature, we don't have as many people here, but we have just as much fun. But then when it's starting to move, at least everybody knows where to go. You know, we can all meet here. I like to do this leading up to the daily close and then spend a little bit of time after to see what's going on. Yeah, I got caught up with work. Hey, no problem there, Miss Vicky. We all need to work. That's why I do this. This is my work. Not just YouTube, but my investing. That's what pulls me through. So right now with XRP, we're going to look. Remember yesterday we started off for the immediate first, 5-10 minutes, maybe 20. It was looking a little bearish. And then all of a sudden at the 20 or 25 minute mark, it just went boom. We'll see what happens today. We've had that retracement in the US dollar a little bit, which we already know had to happen. And the reason why it has to happen is we had a death cross in the 4 hourly. So now the most likely scenario is you retest 105.54, maybe an overzealous run back up to 105.92, but this always retests back up here. That's why we said metals might be a little bit on hold today, maybe for the first few days this week. But once this rejects and comes back down, gold, silver, we know is on an inverted head and shoulders. Eventually that's going to break out. This is on a big bear flag now. If this plays true and gets rejected at around the 105.71, even it could be worse than that. It could get rejected at 105.43 levels, but if this gets a firm rejection, you can expect this to come all the way down to 103.97. And then if that breaks, expect 103.33 and then further. I mean, this could completely reverse now. That looks like a Batman top if I've ever seen it. And it looks like now that we're close to 24, you can see the demand, how the BRICS nations, they're allowed to sell the U.S. government bonds starting in 24. And they're allowed to pay in petro gold instead of U.S. dollars. They can finally do that, their own conversion. They don't have to use U.S. dollar. So just pay attention to all of this. Yes, XRP closed above 71 cents, and I'm very happy about that. So we're going to smoke our Victory Cannabis. That's a beautiful inverted hammer as well in the 4 hourly. It's just, this is a long leg doji here. So yes, they can be inverted hammers, but if this were to pull down, remember, if this pulls down, you very well could make a run back down to 66.37. That is not out of the question, and I would never sugarcoat it. You don't really want to run all the way back down there. You would like to see this bounce off of no worse than like 69-cent area. Don't give back any more than this and just pull it down in a nice inverted hammer, even if it has to sit there all day. But I would like to see this pull up right now. Don't put any downside pressure in. You could put downside and just keep pulling back up through the day. Just don't come through here. You do not want to come through 663. That would be very bearish, because then you might have to come to 633, and if you break that, it very well could have just pumped and then dumped it right out. Right now, there's no sign of that yet. We've had a very nice candle from yesterday's daily of 48.5 million. Today, we had 110 million. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. And now we've come out the gate with 1.4 million. So we started off very strong here after the consolidation candles. This is a very good sign. Nice continuation. And then the weekly, we're playing off that golden cross now. And look how nice that weekly golden cross looks right now. Looks phenomenal. And look, it does show you that it could come down to 663. I'm not trying to lie to anybody. On a nice inverted hammer in the weekly, that could come down here. And it would not be out of the question. Look how you come by level. Boom, boom, boom. It's not out of the question, but remember, it's only Tuesday and we've put in 111.76 million. Last week we put in 232. The week before we put in 194. So we're looking to break 232. I'd say right now we're off to a great start. It's only Tuesday and we've almost got half. It's a very looking great start. That's okay, Ian. That's okay. I think it's the best plant, and it's the, well, I don't want to say what it is because, they might say I'm trying to give advice. But for pain for myself with a broken back, it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. And the cool thing about this is I actually grew these. I got just over 11 ounces on the two plants I grew outside. One was bigger. I topped it like 17 times. The other one I made smaller. But so I have that to smoke for a few months here now, maybe longer. I do it every year. Every year I do it, just a couple seeds in the back. Yes, I did very well, Jacob. I showed it live. Yes, they are. Some of it's a little wet right now, but I'm smoking some of it that dried. So what I did is I dried it, but then, I don't know if anybody knows how to flash freeze drive in a mason jar. It brings the trichomes to the top. It's a beautiful freaking thing. But don't do it right out the gate. You'll get ice cubes. You got to dry it out first and then put it in there. And it'll rebuild the moisture through the freeze. I'm on the mainland. I'm in Oakland County in Michigan. I wish I was in the UP. My favorite place is going to St. Ignace. Just haven't been back there in over 4 years since Julie's accident. She had like 4 surgeries. But anyhow, I know some people are leaving, but we got what we needed tonight. Now we're going to try to break today to continue this extremely bullish. Remember yesterday, first level was 663, second level was 71 cents. We got past 663 and we held 71. So now you're trying to hold 732 because that was the wick on that inverted hammer, or at least what looks like an inverted hammer, the start of one. So we want to break past the top of this candle here now. That's what we're looking for. That's what I'm looking for. I would love to see a close over that. But if anything, even if we have a consolidation, we just don't want to lose 663. And like I tried to point out, this weekly candle here, we can see it. It could come to 663 and look absolutely beautiful. Or it could start playing off the dailies. And if we break, we'll know if it's going to continue pushing out. If we break yesterday or today's daily that was just put in, we want to break 7327 in today's daily candle. That's my opinion. The XRP market cap is at 38.02 billion. Great question, unless you're talking about the total crypto market cap. But we had a beautiful close on the XRP market cap. Remember, we wanted to close over 37.1 billion today. We cleared it. So now we're looking to have a hold here. Or, just like with the XRP price action, this is how you update your chart. We want to get over and hold 39.25 billion to confirm this move over the top. And now once we do that, you can start lining it up. 85 cents for XRP is more than likely going to be somewhere in the neck of the woods around 44.8 billion likely. So, I mean, that's the gap we're talking about. We got a nice gap here. We got a real nice gap here. I hope everybody stuck around. I really do. And we knew that this was the formation of the rising channel. Now we're trying to first confirm. This is our first layer of confirmation. If we can hold these levels now, it would be great to hold 39.25. We got our first candle close over the rising channel now, though. Did he go poo-poos? So yeah, that's what we're looking at. Yes, I'm just lighting it just now. We had some special requests to start smoking the cannabis now that we had our daily close. I'm telling you guys, I've been buying it. You know, I buy it from dispensaries and whatnot when I'm growing it outside. And anxiety and all that other good stuff. Julie can tell you, ever since we started, relaxing with mine, it's a very productive, very uplifting, and it's a very positive smoke. Like, it's very positive feel. Like, because I'm not using any chemicals, there's such a big distortion now with marijuana, and it's a tragedy with the cannabis. It really is. It's such a tragedy. Now that they're in the dispensaries, it's all filled with chemicals, and you can tell. I grew straight Kush. I went with Kush. It had some hints of purple in it because it did turn purple on some of mine when it got a little colder. But I decided to grow the old reliable Kush. This is a long-term hold. You better believe it is. You better believe it is. I didn't buy it at 34.6 after selling it at $1.66 and 21 to sell it now. I wouldn't sell it inside of a year to begin with because I'm not paying the taxes at 35%. Some say it's not like that, but I can tell you 2 years in running now, me and Julie got hammered with taxes on crypto. And I do not make six figures, so you can take that out of there when I do all my deductions. So it's not because of a six-figure income. I think after all my deductions, I don't even want to speculate where I was at, but it definitely wasn't even close to 6. But most of my money's in investments. So you're looking at doing a certain payoff. So this is the long game. I'll be 40 in December and the 17th next month. So my 40th birthday is closing in, but I did myself proud from 31 to 40. I made myself a promise and I exceeded it. You know, so now it's rough right now. It's a struggle every day because type 1 diabetic in the house. We've got a lot of stuff going on in the house, you know, and the way that the government, you know, they just charge too much. The way inflation's going up because they expand the money supply. If I didn't have any crypto, no, I wouldn't buy it right now. That's just I never see, if you're trying to, I mean, I can't say I wouldn't buy it right now. It depends what crypto you're talking about, but I never like to buy on a rally. I like to buy after a nice dump where I know it's in a bear market, and I was very stubborn. I wait, and everybody got to experience that stubbornness when I sold in 21. Everybody was rattled. They wanted to buy back, and I said, I'm not buying back till it gets to where I want. I know where it's going. I have the charts in front of me to prove it. Unless some crazy event happened that didn't bring it down there, that was the risk. Even though I had the charts, if the news would have broke at a different time, maybe we didn't get the chance to get it at the 2020 uptrend or everything alike. But I wouldn't buy here. Should you buy more right now? I can't tell you that because I don't know your average. But my question to you is, what makes you want to buy more at 70.8 cents if you weren't buying it at 55 or 36? Like, is it because it's running up and it's the fear? If it's because of fear, you already know you lost the trade. You don't want to buy in fear. You want to just buy because you have maybe if you have a monthly buy plan, sure. If this is just your accumulation plan, you just buy no matter what every month, then sure. But if it's your first buy or you already have an average of 37 cents, should you buy? No, you don't want to bring the average up like that. No. You lose your leverage. If you're dollar cost averaging, do you know what the definition of dollar cost averaging is though? If you have a set price, let's say your average is 77 cents. Okay, everything under 77 cents is a good buy, but were you chasing it at 37 the same as you are at 70? Dollar cost averaging is not the same. It's not. I'm dollar cost averaging when it gets below if I want to buy more, but I have a 34.6 average. So my dollar cost averaging means I'm not buying until it's 20% below that buy-in that I was satisfied with. I have over 10,000 tokens. I'm satisfied. And then I have a whole slew of others that you all know of the Internet of Things and the the Internet of Things and the ISO compliant token. Sorry, I just was watching something that ran through. It was just an animal. So, yes, the flash crash days are beautiful, but that whole bear market rally we had for the better part of a year when everybody kept saying it's not the right time, it's going cheaper. I said, you got a 25% chance to go sub 20 and get those desirable ones that I was begging for. But I'm also not a fool. I know the 2020 uptrend was the level to buy it at. I know it because it never gave way all the way through 22. And we knew it before because that's where it bounced off and it started that epic rally after what? Remember? Yeah, the SEC lawsuit. So once it started rallying, you know you have your floor. It didn't go all the way to $1.98 just to give way now. And everybody says, oh, it was just the whales pumping it. Remember, if this was the whales' last-ditch effort, you would see one more rally to all-time highs so that they could get all the money up there, and then you would probably have a lot more people that would take out added liquidity that were stuck below at $1.50, and then they get back up by 80%, and they say, oh my God, I can take out leverage now. This is beautiful. I can take a margin out. And then they pulled the rug if they were going to do it. They didn't come high enough, in my opinion. This is all about institutional money right now. Look what Uphold did. That's not by accident. They're using them as their, what? What are they using them as? It's their liquidity hub now. On-demand liquidity, the same thing we've talked about for 3 years at this station. Forget the cross-border bullshit of XRP. Every single crypto does cross-border payments. If somebody's telling you to buy it because of cross-border payments, they don't know anything. They're just telling you whatever the easiest thing to say is. The importance of it's the on-demand liquidity. It's the liquidity pool. That's it. It's got 100 billion tokens and endless amounts of money that it can circulate now. Why do you think there's 100 billion tokens? It sure as hell isn't because it doesn't want to be, because it wants to be scarce and make the price go way up. If they wanted a $100,000, $10,000 price tag, there wouldn't be 100 billion tokens. They're targeted at a solid 3 to 4 digits somewhere. There's nothing. I get beaten over the head when I say, what's wrong with it going to $10? And my question, what's wrong if it went to $10? We bought $3,500 worth, let's say at 346. You're telling me you would be mad if that 3,500 turned into 100 grand? Do you know how asinine that sounds? I hear this all the time. Oh, you son of a bitch. Only $10. I didn't say only 10. What I'm saying is all-time highs to 5, and then you double it one time is 10. What happens with one double from 10 to 20? That's the point. And once you get to $10, it opens the possibilities. You got to get up there to that $10 level to start making these crazy assumptions that we can do anything like that. But what's not crazy is to think we can journey our way up there. So imagine if you do it up to $10 or even $5 or $3.50. Imagine somebody being mad. We bought at 35 cents and we hit all-time highs and we went up 1,000%. We 10x'd our money. We turned 3,500 into 35 grand. And people are going to say they're going to be mad. Come on now. That just tells me you've never made any money trading. You know how ridiculous it is to think you're going to turn 3,500 into 3.5 million? That's not going to happen. What will happen is if you have realistic expectations, 3,500 into 35,000. 3,500 maybe turns into a couple 100,000. Never say never though. In the all-out future, it doesn't matter the dollar value. Here's the point. If you've got that kind of a price tag, think it might be a little easier to use XRP to buy a house instead of your native currency? You think it might be a little bit easier to use XRP when it's being used as a medium of exchange than going to your local bank and using a digital dollar? You think you might be able to get more bang for your buck in a value like that than the digital or the stored up dollar you might have when it dies and goes like Venezuela when you got to bring a wheelbarrow to pay your bills to buy a loaf of bread? You think you might be able to buy the whole damn store if you have XRP compared to your local dollar when it goes to shit? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I don't give a rat's ass what the US dollar value is right now. I don't. It's being used as a medium exchange in the future. A lot of people don't understand my intentions. I've got gold and silver for money purposes for a store of value. That's the point. My gold and silver is not negotiable. That's a store of value. A speculative asset that very well could go from 18, 19, well, it's almost 2,000 right now, but it's probably going to go to 10 and 20,000 in Basel 4 and 5. Not just 5, but that's speculative. I don't care about that. It's a store of value year over. I started buying in 2015. I own ounces of silver that were around 11 and 12 bucks. I own ounces of gold that were around 1,300, 1,400. But my US dollar, do you know how much inflation would have destroyed my same dollars if I had that same amount in dollars? So, it's a beautiful thing. David says he's painting the picture, people. Yes, I do. I try to paint the picture. I really do. I try to paint the picture of, wow, 195 likes on 86 people watching. That's an incredible ratio. The more qubits, it's faster computing. Not wrong. But just consider what I'm saying. It's not just XRP. It's not just crypto. If you buy crypto, your best friend is gold and silver. If you buy gold and silver, your best friend to stack it with is crypto. You've got two forms of money, and I say that because they can both be used cross borders and they can both be turned in to their native currencies at will. Some people say, well, how are you going to turn in your gold? I mean, come on. That just tells me somebody who's never been. You ever see the gold and silver signs? We buy your gold. And I mean, you can easily go to a pawn shop if you want, or a jeweler. They have to pay you spot price. That's the beauty of it. They can bamboozle the guy buying at them and make him buy a higher spot price. But they're never going to screw you out of the ounce price if you know the spot value. If they try to, you know you're in the wrong spot. And I wouldn't be buying gold and silver from that location. I wouldn't buy it from a pawn shop to begin with. I would sell it to them, but I'm not buying it from them. Unless I know and they've got some kind of certification and I know it's not just a beating on the path. There's ways to know. You just don't want to get conned. But it's a beautiful world, like with XRP right now. And I know we're getting into the hour time right now. I know we're running this long, but we're relaxing. Tom, when do you think regs will come? I mean, you've been seeing the making of regulations for a while, but do you truly believe that regulations are really coming in the way that they're leading you to believe if the Bitcoin ETF is right around the corner in the USA? When BlackRock is calling, do you really think the regulations are going to be as strong as they say? Do you really think around the world it's as bad as it is when now Hong Kong says, today, securities regulator now considering spot crypto ETFs, Bloomberg. This is Hong Kong, supposedly one of the biggest, harshest regulators, and now they're talking about ETFs. I would tell you, I believe we've all been bullshitted. Now with Asia turning suit, now they're going to go after a ETF. I say we're all been conned, and when it's cheap, the institutions have been buying it right under our noses. But we were smart. We knew what we were doing. I told you, don't listen to the bullshit in the comments. Oh, you guys are stupid for buying. Okay, we'll prove you wrong. You know it's not stupid? When you buy in 2023, late 22, or whenever you decided to buy it, if you bought when we did, there was many chances to buy it at the 346 level. You know what's not funny? Is at the close at 71 cents. At 34.6, we're up 100. We've doubled our money this year in a bear market. You tell me one other station that does this for free that can make a claim and has the proof to back it up. You guys did it week after week with me. We've been doing it for months, almost a whole year with different cryptos. Are we not feeling good right now? I feel great. And not just because of my portfolio, because of all of yours. I could have done this myself, but none of you could have given me that gift of knowing that what I'm doing is paying off, not just in my own pocket, but in all of yours. And like I said in 21, it doesn't seem like it now, but at some point everybody's going to realize I'm not doing this for the money. I'm making money as we go along. At least I'm making ad revenue if nobody donated. That's $1,000 a month right now off of my views. I'm not afraid to say that. I also feel great because of the amount of participation in the audience. The third reason I feel great is because when you know what's coming next, and not by predicting, let's just say by knowing what happens next, okay? That doesn't mean it has to go to 85, What if 71 cents breaks now? Now we're on our way back down to 663. Okay, well, the beauty of this is because we understand the weekly closes. We understand where we're at on the pattern. Watch what we can do here. Okay, we lose 71 cents, let's say, right? Because you can see a long leg doji's forming. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not in the most high of time frames, but you can see a little bit of a bearish tendency started on this daily candle. That's okay. It's okay. We'll see if it holds 71. If it doesn't, then you're like, well, take a look at the weekly real quick. Well, to have a nice inverted hammer if we lose 71 cents. Well, we've got plenty of room, Tom. And confirm the next weekly close above 663. So now our goal this week, if we can't break above 71 cents and ultimately hit that 732 and break it on a daily candle, our goal this week is to just not lose 663, and it'd be an extremely bullish close. Now, what some will say is XRP is a pile of shit. XRP couldn't even hold 71 cents. Look at XRP. It's down 10% this week. Healthiest correction you will ever see if it does that. And another beautiful inverted hammer with a lot of body in that inversion. A lot of body. A lot of body means a lot of pulling through. I mean, just look at these. There's nothing that says bearish about this setup. The only thing that says bearish is that we need a correction here now during the week. Because we're basing it off the weekly candles, right? Hasn't every weekly candle had a bump every week? Even when they're green? I mean, look at the size of these candles. You think it's just going to go parabolic without having to reshuffle? I know. I can see. See, that's why we come in and we know what's going on. I'm not the most liked person, but I am the most factual person because I'm not going to lie to you. So whether I'm right or wrong, I'm being factual to what I think I know. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything and try to spread false narratives. I just want us all to be successful. See, if I'm lying to you, I forget what I'm doing. I'm not dealing with all that. I'd rather just tell you the truth, forget the sponsors, forget the advertisers, forget all that nonsense. You know, I don't need to sacrifice the show so I can make a few extra dollars a little bit quicker. You know, I believe in by being humbled, you know, and doing this the right way. When it comes to you, you can do it properly. If everything gets thrown in your face, just take BitBoy as an example. Do you want me to be the next BitBoy who grew too fast and then I take too much money and now I don't know what the hell's up and down? No. And Ben, I believe, is a good guy at heart. He just said hit him too fast. And I firmly believe that, and I'll stick to it. I don't care what anybody says. I don't hate him. You know, he just took advantage of a situation, and anybody can have it happen. That's why I'd rather just hide the audience and myself from all of that. You know, become underpaid for a reason, and then in the end, I'll be overpaid. See how that works? Sometimes the most well-respected people are only that because they were undervalued for so long, and then when they broke out, it was undeniable, and then they got what they deserved. That's what I believe. So, I don't know. I just felt like I would speak up for that guy just because he gets a lot of backlash, which is rightfully so. But I believe everybody can be manipulated. I believe deep down he wasn't intending on doing that. I just do. I don't know why. Call me a loser. Call me whatever you want, but that's just what I believe. I've seen truly evil people, and you can see in his eyes there's something there. That doesn't mean he's going to go back and stop doing it. Now he's already caught in that world. See, he's already lost his innocence. There's no going back now. But at one time he was innocent, just like right now I am. You know, I could take the devil's lettuce, as some would say. God showed me the way. You continue following in God's path. Why steer off course when I've been given the tools from the man upstairs? But at the same time, now that I'm reaching more and more people, you know who's coming to calling more and more and more? You know who comes calling more and more and more every day to me? The devil. You know why I say that? Because the devil is greed. The devil is all of your fantasies, all of your wishes, and everything you've ever wanted right in front of you. And because of something you're doing, you're now in a position where you become valuable to somebody else. That's where I am right now. I become valuable to the advertisers and the sponsors and all these other people. That's where the devil lies. That's why I always say if you start seeing me promoting all that stuff, you know I'm compromised. Can we get an amen in here? Amen. So, I don't openly flaunt my religion. I'm just speaking, you know, that's the truth. Whether you're good, bad, indifferent, when you let the negativity and the evil come in, it's a dark slope, and I'm not going there. You know, I had that choice with drugs when I was younger, with what my family does and all that good stuff. I was readily available. You know, I am what I am. Thank you all for that. Thank you all. We are definitely taking the high road. There's no doubt about that. Because in the end, when you do it for real, there's no... I don't even know how to properly tell you the satisfaction of getting to where we're at in this community. Could anybody who watched me in 21, when we had 400, 100, 700, 1,000, did you ever think we'd be here before 23 was over, almost at 19,000? And we're not even through 23. I mean, I did make an awesome prediction, and I missed it by 1. You'll never believe this. On my first video in 21, I said, by this time next year, I'll be at 10,000 subscribers. Do you know in that year I got 9,999 subscribers in those 365 days from that video? I was 1 subscriber away from hitting it on the nose. That is so crazy. That's the truth. And then during the bear market, you know, this year there's been about over 5,000 subscribers in 23. 22 was a very bearish year. This year started off very bearish until people were like, oh my God, he knows what he's talking about. Look at this. You should have knew I knew what I was talking about when I sold you all out at $1.66, bought all these precious metals with all of you. But you know, the proof's in the pudding. And the pudding's becoming very filled with some nice ingredients. Not that GMO. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me not talk like that. JW would say, Tom, you're approaching the scary zones. Shut up. So we're putting in nice, clean stuff. How about that? So anyhow, I'm surprised so many people have stuck around for an hour. 181, 217 likes. Always here for you, brother. I love your truth and your passion. I appreciate that, JW. Oh, I agree, Sam. And that's how I've always been. Even when I was very, very... What's going on here now? Did this just pull down a lot? It sure did. Look at that, guys. Remember what I said? What did I just talk about? Everybody, what did I just talk about with XRP? Hold on. What did we just talk about with the weekly where we were going if 71 failed? What was the level I talked about it could dump down to on that inverted hammer? No, just for reality. What level did we just talk about? Oh, 663. What did it come down to? Notice we don't have anything in between because there's no point. That's the point. If it loses these levels, that's why I would never buy. Somebody said, would you buy now? And I said, no. Wait for a big dump. So if you weren't in, could you have just bought for 7 or 8% cheaper right there? Does that mean this is over? No. These are what I call liquidity grabs, and these are extremely bullish. These are extremely bullish if it can now hold this through the week. And it could come right back up. True is in here. True. What do we call these when this happens? What is this dangerous for? Why do they do this? Imagine how many people are going long right now that they just completely bent over. It doesn't matter if you're a 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, 50X. You just got railroaded. Railroaded. But I talk levels for a reason. This is exactly what we talked about. Yeah, it might be a bullish close, but there's things that have to happen to validate that close. The first validation would be to break past the wick in the successive candle and break up past 733. The second option is you lose 71 cents. Well, the second option is you hold 71 through the daily and just don't move anywhere. Third option is to come back and retest at 663 because we failed to before. Remember, you never leave gaps. You don't leave gaps. True knows this better than anybody. We left a big gap right there. We never came back and retested 663. Exactly what we needed to do. I can't even do this journey on my own. You know why? Because my portfolio wouldn't be as big as it is without all of you. And I don't mean by the size of the money. I mean by the content within. There's many different people within here. They're the reason I have H-Bar. And they're the reason that I have Casper and Solo and Corium and Gala and some of these other ones that I wouldn't have thought twice about. Look at XRP though. Think about this. This is where it really should bother you though. If you're going long and this happens, look at, we have a spot buy. Do we give a rat's ass what just, we're still up 100% from where we bought it. Just put it in perspective. We're up 100%. Well, no, we're not. It needs to be at 69.2 to be at 100%. So we're up 98% right now. Do we give a rat's ass if we? That's what I'm saying. We don't care. I don't care whatever happens here. I don't care. Let's just buy me time for the 1 year. 1 year it goes from a 35% tax bracket to 15. Miss Vicky definitely with Gala. Tanya with H bar. There's been a slew of you with Casper and some of these other ones. Oh, I love it. And this is what you need, ladies and gentlemen. Remember when I said everybody's going to say it's a pile of shit if we drop 9%? I just talked about this in the weekly candle. I didn't know it was going to happen a minute or two after I talked about it. But I wish some would go back and watch this if you're just tuning. We literally just talked about this on the weekly candle. And yes, we'll get people that drop off now because now they think it's the end of the world for XRP. But guys, look at this look at this inverted hammer here. Now, what did I say? You don't want to come too much farther than here. So how far was this overzealous run? Did it come to 65 cents to liquidate everybody who had the support there? That's what ends up happening. The weekly support would have been 663. Would I be surprised if it? Nope. See? Came through it. So now the important thing is you really got to come back and rally through here. How big of a dump candle is that, ladies and gentlemen? And do you think it was by design that they do it right after the close? Miss Vicky says, I told you Tom has an XRP bionic eye. You know, it might be true. Since I can't see out of my left eye because I have keratoconus, it is a beautiful bionic eye. I love thinking of it that way. I always say God only allowed me to see out of one eye so that I could see what it was like to be blind to the world and to see the reality of the world. So if I ever question the beauty of the world, all I got to do is close my right eye. And when I open the right eye, it's all so crystal clear. Like, I couldn't even do TA if I had my right eye closed. I can't see the board. I can't see what I'm looking at. So, you know, I was given a gift. Everybody, oh, you should get the surgery and all this. It's not worth it. Anti-rejection medicine. And if I can see out of my right eye, you know. So, it's by design. Just like my eyes by design, this drop was by design. Make no mistake about it. But, this does open the door for something. Should we look at the DXY real quick? Remember we talked about the DXY's potential rally that could push us up here? So, W. Looks like it's all but certain to go to 105.71. Did it just build it in crypto, that move? I think it did. Did this drop 7%? No. But it's coming to retest these areas now. I mean, everything's going the way it should. If you want this to stay bullish, remember, Bitcoin, I pointed out 34,000 before the live for a reason. Tom, my cat, which is a rescue, just came in the room and started grooming. Oh, hold on. I want to read the rest of that. I actually got to feed this orange cat. I just seen it. So once I read this, I'm going to go grab it food. That's the, I call it the destitute cat that somebody kicked out of its house. It's got to be over 10 years old, probably 8 to 10 years old. It's the Claude, but you can see somebody abuse it. It looks like its eye was burned with a cigarette or something. Missing. It's just in the room and started grooming. Made me think of your rescue cat. I would like to buy some food if I may. You're very kind to help the animals. $19.99. Yes. Thank you for sending that, actually. Because you reminded me that the cat walked under my car and that I needed to feed it. So, yes, I will put that towards the cat food. I probably buy, between my cat and the 2 cats that I feed outside, that, I don't know why people just, but they do what they do. I put houses outside for them. So we have like a little community for the cats outside. Then I got little houses inside of it too. Inside of the house so they can keep warm. It's like their warming station. But yeah, it's very unfortunate what people do to animals. So I'm going to go grab that food real quick. But now we're looking because this could be the start of a drop, or could this be the start of a bull flag within a bear flag? All of a sudden I switched to talk about something else and we're looking at it. Actually be a drop 8%. It cut 657 out back up to 60. So right down the hip. I'll be right back, everybody. Maybe 10 minutes. Okay. So, if you're watching right now, most important thing here is we don't want to lose 663 because that's in the weekly time frame. Let me show you in the weekly before I leave. Because, I gotta go back inside. I gotta go do family stuff and stuff. But I appreciate everybody who's been here for an hour and 11 minutes. 171 people still watching, and the 234 likes is amazing. If you're watching, please consider hitting that subscribe button. As if you watch me every day, you'll get an update in the morning when I first wake up. I always do a short sometime midday. And then I do the midday market report around 2 o'clock. And then I do the live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's 2 lives. There's like 3 to 4 updates a day. So there's a lot of content coming up, but I don't step on toes in my previous content. So I do it in a very strategic way now. That works for me. So if you like metals and that kind of stuff, midday market reports where you got to be. And the stock market stuff. Should I buy at this retracement? NB, that's impossible for me to say. I mean, for me, it's very difficult to say because I don't know anything about what you're doing, and I'm not in a position to tell you whether to buy or sell, honestly. I can only tell you I don't like to buy when it's railing, and I have the areas I buy, and I don't come outside of it. This is not a buy zone for me, but I'm already in. I'm not willing to buy above where I bought, and I'm already satisfied with what I bought. I would wait if you're going to buy and see what happens here. I mean, the weekly candle now has come back in play. We absolutely brought the weekly candle in play this week. And that 663 is a good area. Could it overshoot it and come way down? It could, but you really don't want to give way to that 663. You want to keep that intact, and you want to close above that. But then, if you close way down here, you could say that that's even though you close over 663, that it could overly be bearish. Now, if this pushes back up during the week, you won't even remember this wick. That's the thing. This can pull down as much as it wants. There's no downward pressure yet. Nowhere close to downward pressure. So if this pulls back up before the end of the week and it's back above 71 or 70, you're not even going to know it came down here. So a lot of profit taking did. Absolutely. Tons of profit taking. So I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I'm going to end it here. My voice is getting a little tired. I think I did a fantastic job tonight, as well as all of you. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button if you appreciate my work. Consider sharing this on social media. If you want to show appreciation for what I do, you can always join Tom's Army. I would love to see more people in Tom's Army. The ever-growing list of people that are in here right now is awesome. That's in the video description. You can always send a YouTube super chat, or there's because of some that have asked, it's pinned, but that's my Cash App. If you don't want to donate through YouTube, as some refuse to, but they still want to pay it forward. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you watch this again. I appreciate all of you, and have a good night.